Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse, the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, and Avery Superstore.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll into our 19th year on the family, the ESPN 790 here in Memphis, and all you folks in Brownsville and Jackson and all throughout West Tennessee, North Mississippi, and East Arkansas. Of course, this is first Saturday, which means that
it's the old time Daryl and Daryl show.
Yeah, they are.
Professionals are here.
Dave Gabbard and Gene Smith are propping me up, and of course, anytime we do an interview that I think is pretty cool, and I want to get my fishing man on the show,
the expert.
First, I got to track him down because he's everywhere. You know, he might be in Springfield, Missouri. He might be in Hot Springs, Arkansas. He could have been at 10 Killer. I don't know pretty recently, but Ron Wong is with us also. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, I got to tell you something.
What?
Yeah, I have been in Springfield. I'm now in Hot Springs to cover the Crappie Expo, so come on out. It lasts through tomorrow. And I also have been to Lake 10 Killer before to catch some of those bass that can be hard to catch sometimes.
Well, I know you want to hear the story of this next young man. It captured really the attention of all of us bass fishing fans, and his story is pretty amazing. When we start talking, you're going to realize he's not from around here. Okay, all right. Unless he's from the South Australia, and he may have a Southern accent. Yeah. I don't know, the Southern Alps maybe or so, but
he's from the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah. Carl Jocumbsen is on with us this morning. Good morning, Carl.
Morning, guys. Thank you for having me on. Cool to be here.
Let's talk, buddy. I don't want to waste any time. Here's a guy that what a birthday present. Turned 35, and on that day, I'll start to say he killed him, but that's a 10 Killer. So that may be using the wrong expression or anything. But won his first tournament. The videos are all out there, Carl, and your amazing journey from Australia, where you were in bass fishing down there, to America, and to do this event. And I know Ron has watched it and everything's like that. You've had a little time to settle down. Talk about the victory and talk about what it meant for you, because, folks, when you read and you go to the website and you look at anything about Carl, and you're going to see there about his latest blog, and at the end it says, "Fear my heart." And he was wearing that cap that day. So let's talk about it, Carl.
Yeah, thank you, mate. It's truly been a life-changing event for myself and my fiancée, Kayla. This is my 9th year in America. Lived for 26 years of my life in Australia, fishing and competing over there for our bass. And, ever since I was 16, I've dreamt about coming to America and trying to compete here. And, my ultimate dream at first was to try and be the first Australian to ever make the Bassmaster Elite Series. I watched it growing up as a kid on ESPN, and I packed up when I was 26 years old, and I flew to LA, and I knew one guy there, Gary Boyd, and he was waiting for me at that airport. And I had a rod tube and a suitcase with tackle in it and some clothes. And I left my family and my friends and everyone back home. It was I don't know what I was thinking when I think about it now. I must have been crazy. And, I've been through about every high and low and brick wall, and everything you can imagine has tried to turn me around and get me to quit and get me to give up. And my mantra, fear my heart, I took it on and came up with that about 5 or 6 years ago. And I didn't have the knowledge and the skill and the years of experience that these guys have over here, but I knew I had the heart, and anything that I've seen that anyone's done good, it's because they've had heart. It's usually overweighed everything, and that really helped me push through a lot of the tough times that I've had. And I did 9 years of chasing it as hard as possible, fishing more than anyone could ever imagine, learning and adapting and, taking on everything in this country that it has to offer. And I just never backed off for a second. And, it all came down to one day.
One day.
And really one fish.
One fish.
That fish that you see, he catch that smallmouth. It was my 5th fish on the final day. That was 20 years of passion and hard work and dedication and never quitting. And
never quitting. Never quitting.
You saw all of that come down in one fish. And when I caught that, just the weight of the world came off me, and it was a feeling that is very hard for me to describe.
You went down to your knees on the stage. You were overwhelmed. And I know Ron has seen this video, and I look up, and the first person on the stage is your dog, Roo, R-O-O. Yeah. The dog shows up. I don't think I've ever seen anybody celebrate with a dog on stage, So it was fitting. And Ron, you've watched these guys over the years and how tough it is to win, right, Ron? I mean,
I have. It is extremely tough. You're fishing against the very best bass fishermen in the world, and to win that Big Blue Elite Trophy, is really a dream for anybody that fishes on that tour, and it's very difficult because you're going against top 75 fishermen in the world there.
Yeah.
And, and it's extremely tough, especially on a lake that you haven't been on. And, 10 Killer was a last-minute switch because of the high water at Fort Gibson. Now, how did that affect you when they made that move, Carl?
Well, it actually, it was perfect. If I could have every tournament happen like that.
Oh, right.
Even though it's easy saying that now that I won.
Yeah.
But that was if you could give the most level playing field possible.
Yes.
That was the tournament that did that, because not a single angler in the 75 that were there were local. Not a single guy had spent very much time on it at all. Because it was a late change, no one got to spend any extra time on the lake than anyone else, and it was
your time.
Yeah, it was a new lake, quick location, 2.5 days. Who can figure it out and catch them the best? And that I loved every bit of that, because generally, if we go to Kentucky Lake.
Yes.
There's a guy that has spent 30 years on that lake. That's very hard for me to beat that guy.
Sure.
Right.
It's going to be hard because it's just you can't get that knowledge back. So I prefer to have those type of tournaments because I feel I'm on a level playing field when our boats hit that water.
Well, I listened to the interviews in Australia, your homeland. You're a folk hero now, buddy. I can't. All of a sudden, your name is there, and all this work comes with it. And so you said it's changed your life. What does it mean for you now as you move on?
It's I feel like obviously the money is incredible because this is a very expensive sport.
It is.
I don't come from money. I've struggled. I've gone broke. I've gone home. I've come back. And everything in between. And there was always that feeling of I'm going to have to quit. I don't have the money for the entry fees. That was always a weight over my mind.
Yeah.
And to have a little bit of relief from that feeling, like I now belong here, I'm supposed to be here, I deserve to be here, I've done the work. That's a big deal to have that on your mind, that you now are a part of it and you're going to be here for a while. You've validated your meaning and everything. And the other one is I had a lot of pressure that I put on myself.
Yeah.
Because I've told everyone for so long, like, this is what I've got to do. And I've told myself, like, I'm good enough. I can win, I can do this, I'm doing this work, but I never got the reward of all that time because And after that 9 years of never winning a single thing and having a little bit of success but a lot of failures, it starts to weigh on you heavy.
It does.
Like,
yes.
Can I do it? Am I good enough? Is it ever really going to happen, or am I going to do this forever and it's not going to, not going to happen? So that win, like the money will come and go, and it could be gone. It could stay. The blue trophy.
Yeah.
That win I will have for the rest of my life, and no one can ever take that away from me. And that means more to me than anything.
And to do it on your birthday. I mean,
yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy and everything to do this.
Absolutely.
But I know I know you hung in there, and Ron, you've seen, and we just got a couple of minutes. Ron, you've seen guys work a lifetime, Carl, and don't do it, and so it was
absolutely.
It was the right time at the right place. Yeah, the way I'm hearing it from you, and you're in the caveman. I know that I've seen. I don't know if you've already gone out and bought two Ferraris or anything like that. I don't think you're that kind of guy. But
no.
But now it sets you up, doesn't it? Now to do something that undoubtedly you love.
Yeah, it sets us up to, get a better, hopefully we live out of a camper, and we have done a Lance camper, which has been amazing, and it has helped.
Don't hear that? He lives out of a camper. Did you hear that, Ron?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Every single little bit of money we ever get, it gets invested back into what we're doing, and it came down to this moment, and this, that is going to help us to live our life and be a little bit more free with what we have. And also, just when I'm fishing, I feel like I'm just going to be able to compete and really soak in the experience and enjoy it and compete harder, but a little bit freer in the mind. And that's priceless, right? To be able to
you're
that.
Priceless just to be on today's show on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I'm going to ask, Ron, can we get you back on the last segment? Would you be available at the last segment later on this morning? Will you be able to do that if we try to call you back and get you?
Yeah, why don't you try to call me back?
Yeah. I want to get Ron at the end, but I wanted Ron to be a part of this. Dave and Gene, Carl, you got a lot of fans here in Memphis, all over the world now.
Absolutely,
the first Australian. I know this is going to be a boom for your home country. But go ahead and get that camper bronzed and get some new tires for it or whatever it might be. But we're going to keep up with you. Again, thank you for taking time on this Saturday morning, and we will definitely talk to you down the road. I know Ron Wong will guarantee you that Ron, he's the only Wong, but it may look like there's 12 of them, but there's only one. But he'll see you down the road. Carl, thank you, buddy. Have a great day, okay?
Thank you, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the support, and look forward to being on again soon.
Thank you. All right, let's take a break. Ron will get you back at the end, and then
okay, sounds good.
Wrap it up. All right, we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.